Hello, friend. Welcome to yet another episode of the Mount Rushmore of everything. Everything. We're on a quest to find the Mount Rushmore of not just one thing, not just two things, not just 5 or 10 things, but everything. And today, we are on a quest to figure out the Mount Rushmore of mythical creatures.
What do you mean by mythical creatures?
Basically anything from mythology, which to me, if it's, for example, folklore that is recent, I'm probably leaving it off. If it's something that has been in a part of culture or cultures for a very long time, and it's been pervasive, and it's found its place in many things outside of just cultural legends, then that's probably how it finds a place. But at the end of the day, it needs to be whatever you consider a creature. It could be, a part human if you want, as long as it's clearly not, at the end of the day, non-human. Okay. And obviously needs to be alive and mythical. So it needs to be something where we assume it is a non-literal creature.
I wanted to make sure we were on the same page. That's all. And I think we are. Yeah.
So you have no non-negotiables?
Yes.
Really? I have one. So we're going to open with that one.
Let's start with that.
It is one of the only ones that is pervasive in not just one area of the world, not just one culture. It's in tons of different cultures. It's in a ton of different mythologies. It is also a very common creature to come up in all different forms of media, both today and in books from forever ago.
It's the panda bear.
It is not the panda bear because that is a real animal.
What are you talking about? It's not a real animal.
You're good at a serious face when you're joking. I'm just going to call you on it this time.
Okay, very well.
It is the dragon.
Oh,
you can't not have the dragon. You can't. I mean, it's everywhere, right? From Middle Earth stuff to
the Bible.
Chinese culture, even the Bible. Like, you have it everywhere. Both in European folklore, dragons will show up, and all the way in China, in India. Dragons and different senses of dragons are everywhere.
A type of dragon?
Yeah. There is another one that I will mention that may or may not be on the list. There's another interesting one where the name of it is not necessarily in many different cultures, but the idea of it, which is shockingly similar between cultures that are very far apart, somehow remains mostly the same. It's a similar thing. But there's so many different types of dragons. And I mean, even in like what is... Can you have anything in any form of Middle Earth or any form of... Everything has a dragon. I mean, I'm ready for a dragon to be in sci-fi, right? It's just probably going to be a robot dragon. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Even today.
I mean, you think Godzilla? It's a type of dragon.
It very much is, for sure.
And so, agree.
All right. Give us one.
All right. This one, how do I explain it? Again, it because it's mythological, so sometimes you see it one way or sometimes you see it the other way. And I'm talking about I don't even know which one to go first.
Does it have 2 names?
No, it doesn't have 2 names. It's just that... All right, so it's the unicorn.
Yes.
But sometimes there is a Pegasus unicorn.
Sure.
So I had a hard time to just say the unicorn because sometimes they put wings in it, and it's still a unicorn.
My argument would be yes, it's a unicorn with wings. Is what a Pegasus is.
Okay.
So it's in the same area.
But then in some stories, the Pegasus is not a unicorn.
Sure.
So I don't know, but that would be my next one.
My other reasoning against name-wise, going with Pegasus instead of unicorn is that unicorn seems as a name and a representation to be found sort of like the dragon in many different cultures and different spots, whereas the Pegasus, I think, is very much Greek, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Which is my reasoning for that, and the fact that it often feels like a unicorn with an upgrade. Frequent flyer miles, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Unicorn.
Okay.
Unicorn was my one of my 2 tier 2 non-negotiables.
Okay. Very well. So we're 2 by 2.
We are
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Yes.
2 by 2. And the creatures went 2 by 2. Male and female.
Yeah, into the heart.
So, we are 2 for 2.
Okay.
I wonder if we can get to 4 for 4. I somehow doubted on this one. So I'm going to go with my other
You're not gonna
tier
get my
2 non-negotiable.
All right, go ahead.
Which is something else that is found within many different cultures, within many different parts of the world. So not necessarily cultures that were near each other. It is also something that is pervasive throughout movies and other media and stories. It is also another one, like the unicorn, which has a specific version to a Greek story that is incredibly iconic, the siren, which is sometimes considered a type of mermaid.
Well, you just gave it away when you said siren.
Yeah.
Yeah. A mermaid.
That's why I had to go right into the answer, because I knew the suspense was gone now.
Yeah. The mermaid, yes.
It has to. I mean, Little Mermaid, there's like many dark versions of the mermaid, like sirens, which, I mean, you can argue mermaid or not, but at some point, these constructs are a little vague, right? But at the end of the day,
in Spanish, the word for mermaid is sirena.
Really?
Yeah, which is siren.
Interesting.
We also call sirens the sirena, the ambulance.
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah. So we are 3 for 3.
3 for 3, amazing.
That is amazing.
All right, and you're gonna laugh at my 4th one.
Really?
I think so, but I just thought, you think mythological creatures, and maybe one of these two, once you think of the 3 that we had mentioned, is the one that comes to mind. But I just thought, because of its popularity, I had to put it in the 4 as opposed to the other one. And that's the abominable snowman, the Yeti, the Bigfoot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought you were going to laugh at that. You laughed at that.
I did.
I predicted it, man.
So what other ones did you consider that you elevated the Yeti over?
Well, the other one I consider was the Nessie.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I thought that one was a little too specific. Because it's very much a single lake.
Right, but it's the creature, the big Leviathan.
Which is a different thing. Which
but
I also
some
consider.
People think that is the same thing.
Sure.
And they describe them in similar ways.
Yeah, they're both snake-like.
Yeah, snake-like.
Crocodile, water-dwelling.
Yeah. So you do not have the Yeti.
I do not have the Yeti.
I mean, the other one that I was thinking also was the Phoenix. Just because of, again, the same idea of mythological creatures. But not a lot of people are very familiar with it.
I think they are. The symbolism is pretty...
I mean, it's used in a lot of logos.
Yep.
A lot of songs.
Yep.
But
Phoenix, the city in Arizona.
But who doesn't know the Yeti?
Because Bigfoot and Yetis...
but they have, like again, the same thing with...
Like, Yeti's basically the polar bear of Bigfoot, right? Like the white one.
Yeah.
The one that has white fur and is bigger.
Right.
And lives in snowy areas.
It's a type of Bigfoot.
I just thought of that. Like, I think that's pretty true, though.
We have the grizzly.
Yeah, the grizzly,
Bigfoot,
which is the Bigfoot. Yeah, exactly.
The polar Bigfoot.
I think we just solved the entire mystery. It's just a polar bear that was standing up.
Yeah.
And that's what Bigfoot is. It's just a grizzly standing up. So I had several. I had the siren, but I kicked that off because it's basically a specific mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
Medusa I thought of, but that felt too specific.
Yeah.
It was very much a Greek story, and a Greek.
But again, you
thing.
think of mythology, and you think of this character
For sure.
So
and fairies. Fairies were very close for me. Because fairies are still everywhere. But I ended up not choosing that either. Werewolves I considered, but my argument to myself against werewolves is that in a sense it's more like a vampire. It's more like a man with a disease, right? Like it's a human with a disease more so than like a creature.
Right.
It depends on your interpretation, and it's very European.
Right, and is it really? That's why I was asking you, what do you mean by
it's a little
creatures?
vague.
And then like
kind of a little vague.
Yeah, you're not so sure if it would be considered necessarily.
Yeah, which is another reason to sort of push it off. And what I ended up with was actually the Phoenix.
Really?
Yes, because it is the one I referenced earlier, where it is like the dragon. It's fascinating how many different cultures completely across the globe that would have had no communication with each other all had the concept of the phoenix. Even though they might not have all had the name, I believe the name phoenix is derived from Greek, maybe? I forget which Greek. Exactly the name comes from, but all the way in Asia they have a concept of it. I believe they had it in South America as well. They had it in Egypt. They had it in Greece, which those two could influence each other. But the phoenix is something...
They had it in Egypt.
Yep. Sort of.
In Egyptian.
Again, not called that, but for example, Ra, right, has the bird head, the eagle head or whatever, and is the sun god, which is sort of derived from the same idea of the god of, like, often what is all connected, whether it's called the phoenix or not, there's often the, like, firebird sun represents life and rebirth. And that concept is pretty much everywhere. And that's sort of wrapped together.
Like the legend of the phoenix.
So phoenix is my final choice. And,
okay, so we disagreed on one.
We only disagreed on one.
Out of the four.
So let us know. Let us know who you think is right. Do you think that the phoenix deserves that final spot? Or do you believe the Yeti? Specifically the Yeti?
Yeah, specifically.
And or Bigfoot. We'll give you and or Bigfoot.
Okay, just like the Pegasus and the unicorn.
Yeah, sort of like Pegasus and unicorn, or siren and mermaid. Yeah. So we all agree on dragon. We agree on the mermaid/siren. We all agree on the unicorn / we're kind of including the Pegasus there.
Yeah.
And then, so really what you're voting on is whether you think Phoenix or whether you think the Yeti and or Bigfoot. Let us know. Or if you disagree with any of our other four, give us your four. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why you're right. Drop a like, subscribe, click the little notification bell so you actually know when we come out with another video, which, by the way, they will be coming out once a week. And we cover all different subjects. Be sure to click that notification bell so that you know when they happen.
Do it.
Until next time, guys. See ya. That ending. It was like a good ending that just like...
Yeah.
Probably cut that before the see ya. And I think it's good.
Yeah. Since we have this set up now... Oh, that one died?